from Unlock Clarity, and welcome to Spanglish World Networks on Single TV, channel 250. Please remember to download both the Single TV app on the respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. The app is free. Single TV is available in Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Roku, and all smart TVs. Today, we are going to be talking about a topic that is very interesting, different. It's about passion. So, how are you, William, today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I am doing well. Last week, we had to cancel because everybody in house were having some sickness issues, but everything is okay now.
Good. Very good. I'm sure you're passionate to get back to life as usual.
I am passionate about being here, having a normal life again is really cool. So let's start with this topic directly. Why clarity, unlock clarity means have some passion. Why passion is important? That it's one of the emotions that sometimes you have to be very passionate or not. You have to hide your emotions or not. So let's start to talk about this because that's why we put it here. I believe this is very important. What are your thoughts on this, William?
Hmm. What I had to work through growing up, um, there wasn't a great deal of passion, if you will, for a child in growing up. There wasn't a whole lot of outlets for that inside the house, anyway. Um, so I fortunately grew up on a farm where I could go out and explore, and we had land, and I discovered that I had passions for metal work and woodwork and other things that got me out of bed, that got me going, that I looked forward to doing. And over the decades, I had to put those in a box and metaphorically speaking, put those in a box and put them high up on a shelf in a closet because one thing and then another and then life. And so I'm learning, figuring out how to, or have figured out how to get those down out of that closet and bring them back out and go, oh, wow, I forgot about you. And so having passion for me is was missing for a long time. And in the course of my energy work and this wonderful latest round, um, I'm understanding and getting back to this whole thing of I have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Wow, I have something to be excited about. I have something to look forward to. And uh, making a difference in people's lives has always kept me on this planet, as in not killing myself.
And this is very important because I remember talking and working with customers, clients when I am coaching. Even myself in my story, when I was working too much and I was giving a lot of energy when I was working too much, you can be so passionate about what you are doing. Uh, because you are like that, and sometimes when we are Latinos, that is something that seems that it's something that we are very passionate about everything that we are doing. But something that you are talking here that is very important is you can go get start to have some burnout if you focus only in one area of your life. okay, you are passionate about one area of your life and you forgot about your hobbies, or you forgot about the family, or you forgot about other things that are important in your life, your health, your life, other things. And a lot of times we are so passionate about one thing because we are how this goal that I have to realize and how as soon as possible, that you forget about the other part of your life, and suddenly you are going to start to see that you lose that passion that you started because you were, this is amazing, I want to be the CEO of this company, and I am starting in the
Then
lower level.
it's almost like we start sprinting in a marathon and we try to sprint the entire 23 miles or whatever that is in kilometers. But it's like we lose sight of everything except finishing. And so by the time we're done, our body falls apart and uh, we die of thirst or something, metaphorically.
Exactly, and suddenly you lose everything. So what we are talking here is like, what is that thing that for you is important? I can say that's for other people, but for example, in my case, when I was talking about passion, it was like right now because I am doing my work, I am being an entrepreneur, creating all these new things. I have family, I have new two little kids, so I don't have time for anything. Uh, and you feel that that is exactly what is happening. But for example, in my case, I know that when I am in nature, working in nature, I live in a big city. That means that nature is not like in front of me. Well, it's in front of you, but there is a lot of buildings around.
It's not
Uh,
here where I can walk out my front door and be in nature,
exactly, that's completely different.
right?
But I am talking about this because sometimes if I am not living like you in front of the forest, and I have another friend that is exactly the same, that she's like, yeah, I just walk 2 steps and I am in the middle of the forest. No, in my case, I have to walk a little bit more. So if I know that that is important for me and that connects me with myself and connects me with who I am and help me to avoid burnout, and also, for example, photography for me is something that helps me as having one hobby that I am very passionate about, but I don't have time to do it because of all the reasons that I can tell you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I
So
have to do because photography is one of mine as well.
suddenly we are talking about here, and we want to tell you that if you want to be successful in that area that you are being very busy, extremely busy, something that is going to help you to unlock clarity, to open the doors, is start to look for the hobbies that give you that space that you need to clean your mind, clean everything that is happening in your mind, and start to have. And even it's like, okay, I have to get out of my bed today because I am going to work, but I know that this weekend I am going to be doing this.
A thing that I've heard and learned over the years, go back to what did you enjoy doing as a child? What did you love doing? Did you ever fall out of love with it? Or did we just fall captive to our cultural, Western cultural concept of I have to give up everything that I was interested in as a child? I mean, for me, I loved drawing. I don't do that so much anymore, but I used to do it all the time. And That's a way. Also, be nice to yourself. Give yourself permission to enjoy something that you used to do as a child. Some of the lots of the big name gurus, they talk about that now of do something that you enjoyed as a child every day. And that can help bring back some of that passion.
And one thing, this weekend I was learning from Eckhart Tolle something that I really love, and is what are the spaces that you have in your day, and those spaces can be like having more space in the sky. Like you are not going to have only a cloudy day. It's like you don't have any space because you are so busy being busy that you can do anything else. So when you start to give those spaces, you can see part of the blue sky that you see like, wow, this is amazing. The day today is amazing. Every time that you are saying the day today is amazing, it's because in your life you have those spaces to be with yourself, to enjoy your thing. So in the when I am coaching somebody, one of the things that I ask them is always in the energy side, like, okay, tell me what are the things that you are doing to recharge yourself in a daily basis, in a weekly basis, and in a monthly basis. Because I know maybe if you like to be in the woods and walking in the woods, and you are like me in Mexico in the city, maybe it's not possible to be 2 hours outside just to get to the place in a daily basis, but you can do it in a weekly basis.
Right.
So what are things, how, because I know that you have been working a lot in your energy and also in helping others with the energy, how you find the passion to be, for example, in the meditation, to have this moment with you, to connecting with yourself, and be like every time like, okay, this is going to be fun. I have to look for that moment again because it's going to change my life.
Something that I've had to walk back through is in part of putting away my passions. Um, I had to teach myself not to like myself. And so some of us here in America, I'm sure it's this way everywhere because I think it's a human condition. We typically are busy because we don't want to be with ourselves. We don't want to get to know who that person is under the hood. So we have something going on all the time so we can run away. So, what would that look like? How would someone get back into a passion that they enjoyed as a child and yet maybe they were ridiculed for it? Or perhaps, yeah, like in my situation, I got with someone who didn't like me doing anything, kind of like a cat, didn't like me doing anything other than spending time with them and their interests. So, how would someone get back in touch with themselves
Mm.
other than like my energy work? I mean, I've done 12 steps, I've done therapy, I've done counseling, I've done all kinds of stuff, and so just giving myself permission to meditate on a daily or otherwise basis, that was a big commitment in the beginning.
Mm.
So, I mean, you actually, do you make time to meditate still every day? I think you do. How do you give yourself permission to do that?
For me, it's started like what as you were saying. Like for me was like meditate, like I don't have time. I have to do a lot of things. I have to do exercise. I have to do so many things, and suddenly like I I don't have time. But when you something that I do a lot, and this is very personal, but for example, I study what I want to improve. That means why meditation is important. Oh, let's understand what is the thing that can happen if I meditate. Suddenly, wow, this is really important for me. I need to do this more. I have to understand how to do it. The same thing, like, okay, for example, celery. It's a good thing for your body, but I don't like it. So let's start to study why celery is important for my body, how that can improve, how my body can improve if I eat celery. Suddenly it's like, oh wow, I am going to test it even when I don't like it at the beginning. Suddenly I am going to find the taste to enjoy that celery that I don't like. So that's what I do. I know that it's not everyone, but in my case, it's like sometimes you don't have the passion for that. But if you start to study why that is important for you and how that can help you, maybe that can solve you the problems that you are having right now.
Hmm.
And suddenly it's like, wow, if I make that space for the meditation, right now I am looking for more time in my day to do meditation. When before it was like I don't know how to do it even once per day or once per week.
Yeah.
And suddenly now it's like at least I have to do it twice. And if I can put a couple of times more during the day, better.
So what you did was you gave your logical mind knowledge to
Exactly.
put behind the emotions of what you want to become passionate about. And so you instead of your logical mind going, this is boring, why are we here? You feed it and it says, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Wow. Okay, that's nice.
And in this case, for example, that we are talking about meditation, and I believe meditation is really key for our lives. Uh, but something that for me was important is meditation. For me was difficult because I have my mind so busy that okay, I have the time for to meditate right now, and suddenly I am thinking about the million things that I have to do that I didn't do, the things that I have to do tomorrow, in one day, in 2 months, everything. And it's like I didn't meditate at all. It was just talking about everything that has to happen, and suddenly like okay,
And
thank you very much, but it's enough. I have to leave.
that's a big topic to get into, and we don't have time for it. But it's like, which version of meditation were you trying to do? So for someone like me, this whole clear your mind stuff, no, that doesn't necessarily happen. When I meditate, I have to have a reason to be there, and I have to give my brain something to do while I'm meditating. And so the imagery, the guided meditations, things like that, those work best for me. But this whole, okay, breathe deep and clear your mind. No, my brain doesn't clear. And so, yeah, that is a whole topic we could spend hours on. But yeah, that's one of those things. If I don't have time to meditate, which means I don't have time to sit still and clear my brain. Well, there's ways to meditate without clearing one's brain, without even sitting still. But like I say, that's a big topic.
But really, one of the things is start to understand how to do it a little. Like if you can do it for 30 seconds, it's okay. And the next day, maybe you can 40 seconds, and the following 20 seconds, because sometimes you go like this and start to improve a little bit more, and something you can start to find which time of the day is better for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the afternoon that you are so sleepy is not a good time, or it's the best time to do it. So depends.
Yeah.
Uh, so that for me it's like, but talking again for passion, something that we recommend highly here is what you were saying. Start to think about things that you were passionate about when you were a child. That is really important. The other one is start to think what are the recharge time that you are a party. If I look to your calendar, in your Google Calendar, in your work calendar, how is it? What is telling you? It's going to tell me that you are doing it. You are having some time every day or sometime every month. How much are you planning? If you are planning, you are going to do it. If you are not planning, you are not going to do it, and never going to happen. We are at the end almost of the program. William, do you want to say something just to close the program? And one final idea.
Yes. Attempt to remember something that got you out of bed on a cold day that no matter what came up, you were so excited to do that you would do regardless of if someone crashed your car, you would walk to go do that thing. Just try to be in that space.
Awesome. So, William, the time with you flows and goes very, very quick. Thank you, everyone that was listening to us today. See you next week. This show can also be heard on Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and leave it. Bye all.